So that's the difference between assessment for learning versus assessment of learning, which is summative and is traditional. The second big idea in this program is CLIL, content and language integrated learning. The thing is that your students are not only supposed to learn English, the themes must be relevant to students' age and interest, and the topics should match our curriculum. The students are going to learn English through science, through math, through social studies, and that's going to be embedded in all the activities in the program. Now, the third trend is 21st century skills. Come on, we live in the 21st century. This program is called Productive High School Bilingual Graduates, Programa de Bachilleres Bilingües Productivos. And in order to do that, you need to be in the 21st century and acquire 21st century skills. And those are the skills that will be incorporated into the program. The fourth trend is process writing. Most students have a lot of problem with two aspects of language, writing and speaking. And that will be reinforced a lot. Process writing focuses not only on the final product, but on the process on how we develop writing. With the arrival of communicative approach, ELT courses had listening and speaking as their priority, leaving writing without academic merit just as a minor means for communicating. And that is a mistake. You can be communicative, but you need to learn how to write, not just how to speak. In fact, a person who writes well speaks even better. The fifth element is cognitive grammar. What has happened with grammar throughout the Dominican English language teaching programs? The problem is that it's been mostly grammar translation. Now, we are going to use cognitive grammar, which is a critical thinking process that leads to comprehension and application of grammar principles in an easy and fun way. It's based on model visualization, feedback for use comprehension, insight on word order, and practice and transference. Those are the tenets of cognitive grammar, which we will teach you to do and implement in your classes. Finally, we have English language teaching literacy equal to the first language literacy. In fact, if we want children to learn English naturally, the teaching and learning process must be very similar to what is done on the first language in Spanish. So we're going to use a lot of tools for this. The use of rhythm to practice sounds and associate them with their written form, listening for differentiation of sounds and visual differentiation of written words, association of sounds and the letters that represent them, pronunciation of letters according to their position in words, identification of the different pronunciation for written vowels, development of different reading strategies, reading examples of different genre, for example, comics, blogs, biographies, realistic fiction, etc. And that's what you do in Spanish. So literacy should be very similar to the native language, as well as facilitating reading and pronouncing by chanting and singing with rhythm and correct intonation. So basically, these are the tenets of the primary school program, and you will be getting a specific training in detail on how we are going to implement it in your schools and your program. I can see that we have now over 320 teachers present, and this is just the very beginning. Now, we have to make this real. Now, I would like to get now from the primary school teachers, if you have any comment or question before I continue to secondary school, this is the moment. Raymond Jimenez, go ahead. Turn on your mic, Raymond. Turn on your microphone, please. Not yet. Still not on, Raymond. Please turn it on.
It's on now, right?
Now, yes.
Okay, yes. When regarding to primary school, one word came to my mind when you were talking about the process of the program. Since we are starting from first grade, and we know that the process of learning a language goes in a spiral. Start at the very, very beginning of the the age of the kids, especially aspect like phonics and awareness of the sounds and the structure of the language. How the program is going to assess or to implement the program from that. How are you proposing for filling out the gap between very elementary grades of kindergarten to fourth grade?
In fact, there is no gap, Raymond, because we're going to start from scratch. If you begin learning a foreign or second language from scratch, there is no gap because there are no pre-requirements, there are no prerequisites. The program begins phonics at 0, sound recognition and association. And remember something, everybody, this program is specifically for primary school. And keeps in mind what Raymond just said. This is students' first encounter with the language. So the topics are very basic. Now, the teacher's manual, the teacher's edition, gives you a ton of suggestions, ideas, and guidelines to do each and every lesson. The reason why I am giving you the teacher's edition in advance is because I need you all to become familiar with it and to learn about the pedagogy in the program and the concepts and the ideas from a sound pedagogical approach that this program is based on. But again, the answer to your question is there is no gap because we are starting at 0. We are learning from scratch. Your students are beginning as true beginners. However, you are the ones responsible for making sure that the activities be done correctly. And that is why I'm sending you the teacher's edition in time. You need to read it. You need to become familiar. You need to understand the pedagogy, although I am bringing the author of the program to Dominican Republic, most likely in December or January. He's coming to the country to train you all in person. And we're going to have 4 regional trainings, 1 in the East, 1 in the South, 1 in the North, and 1 in Santo Domingo. And you will be able to come to the presentation and share with the authors of the program in more detail. But my answer is the program begins from scratch. There is no gap. That is precisely why we begin from 0. I'm going to tell you a personal experience. I direct a bilingual school, but before I began, I directed the bilingual school. My children were in a traditional school, a Catholic school, and that school taught no English. And my children came to my bilingual school in 5th grade. My child, Natalia, she's now in the university. She began in a bilingual school in 5th grade with no English. And my child is fully bilingual because she began from scratch. And she began in 5th, not in 4th, in 5th grade. So this program is designed for true beginners. That's the point. So there's no gap. Dolores Canalta. Dolores, you can turn on your microphone, please.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. All the teachers that are from the schools that you selected that are in the list, all of them are going to participate in the program because not all of them take the diplomado.
It doesn't matter. For example, if you are in a school and participated in the program, all the teachers in your school are going to benefit because the program is for the school, not for you in particular. So if only one teacher from a school participated, the program is going to go to that school and benefit all the English teachers anyway. Okay, more questions and comments? How do you like the book? How do you like the program? Do you think it could fit your needs? Any comments? No comments? Inolkis Taveras. Inolkis, go ahead. Inolkis, turn on your mic.
Good evening, everybody. I would like to know how are we going to get the material? If we are going to get the materials in physics or only virtual or is in physics?
So actually, I'm going to send you the executable file. The executable file is downloadable. You download it to your computer, your tablet, or your phone, and then you will have the tutor book downloaded to your whatever device you have. The children also, you as a teacher will be given the access codes for your children. If you have 100 students, you will receive 100 access codes to the books for primary and for secondary. You will give that to your students. Your students will need for once, only once, to download the book and install it in their computers, tablets, or phones. Once it is installed, they don't need internet to use it. One important thing I would like to highlight is that we are betting on motivation. In this program, most of the learning will be self-learning. Keep in mind that you only teach 4 hours a week. Our aspiration is, again, to inspire our students. Since they will have the app installed on their devices, if your students are well motivated, they will feel like doing it themselves at home in practice. Look at this. This, for example, is the app where that book is, Big English. If your students have it like this, your students will be motivated to do it.
Welcome unit. Welcome to class. Activity 2. Listen, ask, and answer.
Hello, what's your name? I'm Anna. What's your name? I'm Sam. Goodbye. Goodbye, Sam.
You see, they have activities like this, but there are many other activities where students can do this.
Welcome unit. Welcome to class. Activity 9. Listen, look, and say. 1. Stand up.
Stand up.
2. Clap your hands.
Clap your hands.
3. Raise your hand.
Raise your hand.
4. Sit down.
Sit down. You see, your students have this. They will have it like me in their cell phone, in their tablet, in their laptop. If they are well motivated, they will be doing it. Now, Felix asks, the only problem that I have, we have 24 hours a day, and the students have 2 or 4 hours of English class. They are going to learn, are they going to learn English without the practice? They don't go to learn it? Yes, they're going to learn English. Of course, they're going to learn English, because one thing is the time of instruction that you provide, and a different thing is the time they practice. And that is why I am saying that the key to this program, I told you at the very opening, the very first words that I told you, there are 2 keys here: motivation and confidence. When you ask me if a child can learn English 4 hours a week, I remember 35 years ago when I began to learn English, not as a child, as a teenager. And I'm talking about 35 years ago. No CDs, no internet, no radio. I had no book. I couldn't even buy a book. My family couldn't buy me a book. And I used to go to the public library to study. But I had no book. I had no technology. My teachers didn't know much English. But I had one thing: motivation. If I, as a teenager, learned English 35 years ago, There was no cable television. There was no radio station in English. The books were terrible, and I learned English. Today, with technology, with the internet, with the apps, with the television, with the radio, with the movies, come on. Are we talking about the fact that they only take 4 hours a week of class? That is only instruction time. The key is you. Motivation, homework, assignment, projects. English is not learned in school. Careful. English is instructed in school. And if you have any doubts, I have a homework for you. Go to the internet and read and study something called the Principles of Instructed English Language Learning. I'm going to say it again. The Principles of Instructed English Language Learning. Why? Because people don't learn by instruction. You don't learn English. You don't learn mathematics on the hours that the teacher gives you in school. You don't learn science in those hours. That is instruction time. So let's understand that the key here is not only the instruction time. Again, I learned English 35 years ago with nothing but motivation. Now kids have exposure to the language all the time. And something you have to remember, you are the teacher. Don't you ever think or say that it is not possible to learn English in 4 hours a week because that's your job. Then why do you have a job? I mean, let's be honest. Scientifically, it is possible. It is real. It's no hoax we're talking about. However, something to keep in mind is that children are supposed to spend 9 years in school taking English. Be careful. Students are supposed to take over 600 hours of English class from 4th grade to 12th grade. For example, this year in secondary school, the students who are in 12th grade will only learn the level of English in level 1. But every year, gradually, those who come from 4th grade, they will spend 9 years in an English program. And you don't learn English by instruction. Something you also have to remember, English is not learned. English is acquired. Remember Stephen Krashen's theory on acquisition versus learning? And what motivates and what provokes acquisition and learning? So again, the idea is to provide exposure, coaching in the language. But that is why this program includes an app. And with the app, we must motivate our students to listen, to practice, to work, all that. That is our job. Before we go ahead, I would like to present the program for high school because it's 9 p.m. and people want to hear about high school too. Most of the teachers are from high school. So let's talk about the high school program. The high school program, which is a secondary school program, will be done with Move It. And we call this the challenge of motivating. But can you notice the play on words? Motivate teens. That is a challenge. The challenge of motivating. Not motivating, but motivating. Why? Because it is easy to motivate children to learn English because they are young, and with them you can play, you can chant, you can, do a lot of activities that are playful learning. With teenagers, it's more difficult because the key with teenagers is motivation. and we have to work around that and work on it. First of all, you have to understand the brain of teenagers. The love lobe, for example. Teenagers have a rebellion center. They have an ego issue. They have a personality fluctuation problem. They have a slamming and punching reflex. They have an issue with self-image. They have an addiction to Facebook and the cell phone. They sometimes love their parents or hate their parents. You see, if you teach in high school, you need to understand educational psychology more than English language teaching and learning. And remember that I'm a school director and I have to deal with so many issues with teenagers. You really have to understand. The key here is not about teaching English. The key here is about learning in general. And that requires knowledge about educational psychology, understanding the subject of all this, which is our students. And this program, this Move It program, is especially for motivation. Now, Move It is basically a 4-level American English program for high schools with a complete print and digital learning package. And that's the idea. I'm talking about the digital books, but remember, your students will get their physical books in 4 or 5 weeks too. This program offers multiple options for dynamic, personalized classes that motivate today's 21st century teenagers. You see? So it doesn't matter what their learning styles are. This program is about 21st century learning and teaching that prepares our students for the contemporary world. Is ideal for mixed ability classes because the program personalizes the learning process. It has a complete assessment package to monitor students' learning progress and their process, because you need to evaluate, you need to assess all the time in order to plan your classes better. And it offers a rich modern media package that saves teachers time and especially captures students' attention. You want to motivate them, you have to capture their attention. Now, the thing about Move It is that it prepares teens for today's world using 21st century learning approach. Excuse me. Here, excuse me, let me get something, a glitch here. Let me get a minute. Now, yes. As I was saying, here, oh, oops, excuse me, there's an issue here. It's just a glitch. Give me a sec. Just a minute. Let me get the presentation. Went out of hands. Can you see it now? Something is not right here. Give me a second. I'm gonna have to open it again. Okay, let's see now. Share. For some reason, this is not working well, but let me just go up again and do it like this without the presentation mode. Again, the idea here is about the 21st century skills. The thing about this program is that it focuses students on using print and digital media to learn to filter and analyze information. The program also provides the learning tools in the media that teenagers use every day, such as websites, videos, audio, cell phone apps, and games. And this is very important. The idea here is that students have a chance to use the tools of their times. And then students work with interesting and up-to-date materials, including cross-curricular topics. They investigate global themes such as the environment, trade, and poverty. And through the program, the focus is on the student. So they have personalized pathways that allow them to optimize their own learning. Now, we have a variety of tasks here. The idea is to make the most of students' multiple intelligences and different learning styles. We have the brain trainers, the project, the graded exercises in the workbook that cater to mixed ability classes because we have different levels of the same homework. And then we have my English lab as the software that they can also use. The app is called eText. And there's also going to be an eText for teachers. And if you have interactive whiteboards in your schools, you will also be able to use the whole program in the whiteboard. And then students will have interactive, individualized learning experience. The same kind of activity you saw before is the one they're going to have in my English lab, the same one that the teachers have. And that is basically the idea, that we use the tools of their times, which is not what is happening now. Now, the program components are the following. They will have the student book. The student book will be both print and digital. And at the center of the course is a student's book, which contains a vast array of innovative and motivating features to make your classes really successful. We have the starter unit and 9 units with 1 lesson per page. Again, you have a unit, but then in 1 unit, you have 1 lesson per page. This helps you to plan a lesson around 1 page or 2 if you need to. We have 3 review lessons. We have 9 brain trainer pages, and we have 6 culture pages. The workbook provides students with reinforcement and extra practice of the grammar, vocabulary, and skills, extensive reference section in color, and a self-assessment program that students can use to evaluate themselves. Activities are classified in 1, 2, or 3 stars according to their level of difficulty. So if you have a student that is behind or is not very much advanced, you can give that student a 1-star homework. It is the same homework, but you can assign specific students specific homework based on their level of competence. And we have all the MP3 that contains the recordings of all the workbook tracks. The app, which is the student's eText, gives students access to course content on cell phone, tablet, and computer, including audio, video, and games. And they can write notes and collaborate. The teacher's eText, that is for you, makes classes lively through a wealth of multimedia materials and exercises. And it keeps students' attention on the task and their heads up rather than their noses in a book. There's the teacher's book, which is the one you are going to get this week, which is a digital edition. That is a complete reference guide for giving class effectively with minimal preparation, which is what most teachers actually need nowadays. There's also development. The teacher training material, average unit. You can notice the colors and the design. Here you have the vocabulary, for example, and the reading lesson. And this is the reading and the vocabulary lesson. I'm going to courses, for example, that you will have for this, because you will be able to do it on the internet as well. That is, you will have an access code to also have that. Here again is
Recording in
Luciana.
progress.
Right. Luciana, go ahead.
Sir, I want to check something about your topic. So how nice you explain the contrast in general and current action that we have to learn and in the program training. So how you describe an important transition in our life as a supervisor, teacher.
Thank you. Very well. Then we have Matilde Cabrera, and then Stefania, Matilde, and then Josiah. Go ahead, please. I'm trying to find something here because my keyboard has an issue, but go ahead. Go ahead, Stefania, Matilde. If not, Josiah, you have raised your hands. Go ahead.
Recording in progress.
Las asignaturas optativas que están en el nivel secundario son una farsa, son un teatro, porque ni el análisis de textos discursivos en inglés, ni la extranjera. Entonces, ¿qué vamos a hacer dando? Que dicen acá, redacción de textos literarios en inglés. Eso es una farsa. Por lo menos eso es una
Recording in
farsa.
progress.
Es como la nota que le ponen todos los años a los estudiantes en inglés. Señores, si usted no sabe inglés, ¿cómo que le ponen 75, 80, 90 porque hay que pasar? Con el dinero mío, el dinero de mis impuestos, no el pueblo dominicano. Y eso no tiene sentido. Entonces mi respuesta es no. Las horas que manda el currículo para inglés, usted va a utilizar para dar su clase de inglés. Pero así como no se va a dar un contenido que no sea más que el nivel básico este año, no se va a trabajar nada más. Eso es el nivel básico. Pero ¿con qué sentido te va a trabajar un nivel básico de inglés y a dar a la vez un nivel de redacción de textos literarios en inglés? Pero ni en la universidad, señores, ni en la carrera. Es que ese es el problema del inglés. Aquí han desacreditado a los profesores de inglés por farsas como esa. Pero la respuesta es no, eso no va a tener que dar. Por favor, Dairi Mansueta tenía una pregunta. Y luego José Antonio, y luego Julián Mojica. Y luego Mercedes Samboy, que levantó la mano. Por favor, en ese orden pueden ir encendiendo. Si no lo hace uno, lo puede hacer el otro. Yo veo, Dairi, por favor.
Okay. My question is if we all going to have the material on, or only the teachers that take the test, the international test you mentioned at the beginning.
Well, everybody has to take the test, Dairi. I mean, if you want to be part of this program, you need to take the test. Otherwise, you cannot participate in the program because, again, we need to establish a baseline. It is scientifically correct. Now, all the teachers,
and I have another.
All the teachers are going to get the teachers edition. All the teachers, but again, I want to reaffirm this. If you are going to do this program, you need. Do you have a problem with the test? First of all, the test is private.
No, I don't have any problem with it.
I'm not saying you in particular. I'm saying everybody. I mean, do you guys have a problem with the test? First of all, the test is private. The results of the test will not be published. The results of the test will be used for metrics and for records and to establish a baseline. Go ahead, David.
Okay, and I need to know, or I want to know when the program is going to start. I'm anxious.
The program is started tonight because the program is several phases. This is the first phase of the program. Becoming acquainted with it, getting the training. This is a training. This is an orientation training about the program. This week, I am sending you the teacher's edition so that you become familiar with the books and begin to plan. I will later send you the academic calendar. The academic calendar is going to tell you what you are going to teach week by week. That's basically what this is about. And I need you to keep that in mind. Okay? Because we need to understand how the program is going to work. It's going to take me some more time to work on it, but honestly, this is going to work. Okay, we have Louis. Louis raised his hand some time ago in Hansen. He hasn't asked any question. Louis, go ahead. Louis?
Sir?
Yes, go ahead.
Good evening to all my partners. I got two concerns about it.
Yes,
so the first one is going to be about the technical English. So, for example, for those polytechnic, what do you got in mind? And the second question is going to be, for example, in my school, and there are also other schools that most of the students or all the students have like a higher level of English. So are they going to start from scratch too? Because they are going to feel like a little disappointed if they do that.
If your students have a higher level of English, they shouldn't be in this program because this program is for true beginners. That's one thing. If your students have a special English program and they have a higher level of English, that is an exception. This program is for the generality, not for the exception. What is your district and regional number?
In 05. Regional 08 and district 05.
What is it, polytechnic you work at?
Bachelor's degree.
Raymond Jimenez is here. Do you by any chance have a special English program?
Gumbercindo, I don't know if you remember Gumbercindo, Maria, and also me, I'm working over there. So for example, students, most of them, they receive English from when they get in the first level. So not all of them.
Do you have books and materials for your students?
For technical English,
general English. Do you have books for them?
And also something that is not allowed, some students, they make photocopies.
No, but my question is, Luis, do your students get their English books in all the grades?
Not at all.
So I think they should begin from scratch then. Now, with regards to technical English, Luis, you cannot teach technical English to people who do not know basic English. That is another farce. This program will teach technical English. Look, this is this is our technical English program. But this will be taught after our students have a level of English. This program includes technical English, but you have to notice something. This technical English is graded in the Common European Framework. You see? This is technical English, but this requires basic knowledge of English. I believe that in the third year of the program, we will be able to do it. Read this. It begins on the Common European Framework levels, you see? But this has to be taught scientifically correct. We have a technical English program, but again, it has to be taught at the right time, because otherwise it becomes a farce. I estimate that in the third year of the program, we will be able to introduce technical English in 5th and 6th grade. And 6th grade. But it requires 3 years of basic English learning to get to the technical English. We have a lot of questions now. Oh my God. Okay, Mercedes Samboy, then Julian Mojica. Go ahead. Mercedes?
Okay, hello everybody. Teacher Valdez, my question is, I don't have a classroom. Am I going to continue walking around the school
Yes.
with this program?
Well, the thing is the following, Mercedes.
And what about, excuse me, and what about, I have to teach French too. Am I going to continue in that?
Yes, because again,
Okay.
yes, listen to this. This program is going to function in the same structure established by the Ministry of Education. If you have English class, you will teach your English class. If you have French class, you will teach your French class. Unfortunately, we don't work with French. We only work with English. And I can only guarantee you the area of English. But you are going to continue teaching English in the same schedule that you are French to. That is not a problem. Okay? Okay. Anybody else? Turn on your mic. Go ahead. Because I see so many raised hands. Julian Mojica, Wendy, turn on your mics, please. Wendy, Julian Mojica, please. Turn on your mic if you need to talk. Jokali, if you need to talk, please. Leo Martinez, go ahead. Loide, please, go ahead. Loide, turn on your mic, please. Oh, you raised your hand by mistake. Okay, good. Guillermo Sanchez, you may raise your hand now. You may speak now, Guillermo Sanchez.
Yes, teacher. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I would like to know, teacher, if we're going to have the chance to give our students quality of teaching. Because, as you know, we have we carry a very big load, right? So I want to be sure if we're going to have the chance to work further with them, that we're not going to be asked so many things as we've been asked always.
No, this is going to be different. This is going to be different, teacher. This is going to be only this English program. From us, the only thing you get is support and follow-up. That's it. And we are working with the supervisors because the supervisors will have a new system. In this new system, the supervisors will be doing pedagogical accompaniment, more pedagogical accompaniment than supervision concepts. But yeah,
great,
I don't think there's a problem.
Great, I understand that. Thanks a lot.
Okay, Wendy, Selena, Jose Ramon, Jocali, whoever wants to. Now, I only have 2 minutes. I have to stop at 9:30. And before I do that, yes, go ahead.
Hello. It's Raymond here from La Romana City, Jose Ramon.
Ramon, go ahead.
To congratulate you, Mr. Valdez. So this program, I see is optimistic. I was really expecting something like this, and I'm so sure, absolutely, that is going to work. So we, as teachers, we need to support it. We need to give it support and do our best. So teachers, don't be afraid. So be optimistic, as I said, and I'm so sure that you will get it. So that's what we really needed. So this is a program, a technical program in institutes where really we get some progress. We get students with nice speaking competences. So go ahead, and I love it. I like this program. So I participate in it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And again.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, teacher. Go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Valdez, I have a question. What is going to happen with those teachers that they have the TESOL certification and they are not hired by the Ministry of Education? So are we going to take into consideration? I'm sorry?
Are they going to participate in the contest?
Yes, that's my...
Have they registered?
There are some of them that they're already registered.
That's it. But then the program, the tests are not going to begin in once they pass the contest, they will be hired in January.
They're going to be hired in January.
Don't expect any new teachers. I am a member of the commission for the contest. I am the technical council. And then I can tell you, do not expect any teacher appointments until January, because among other reasons, teacher hiring is not in this year's budget. If they tell you that they're going to hire now, it's a lie, because this year's budget does not include hiring 20,000 teachers. That's impossible. In next year's new budget for the Ministry of Education does include recruiting for 20,000 teachers. Guys, I have to stop now because it's 9:30 and we're meeting at 10 p.m. This has been a hell of a day. I've been in meetings since 8 in the morning. But people say, yeah, let's meet at 10 p.m. I said, not a problem. If you can, I can. Then, anyway, as a conclusion, the link to register for the test. Everybody needs to take the test. The test is not an option. Oh, Big Andres, you raise your hand, and I haven't given you a chance before I conclude. Vidal, do you have any question? If you do, you may ask now. Or Juan Algarrobo, I just enabled you. If you have any comments or questions, this is the time. If not, turn it on while I'm speaking. It's not a problem. Again, Vidal?
Good evening, everybody.
Can you hear me?
Teacher Valdez.
Yes, go ahead.
What about those schools who some teachers are missing? What is going to happen with them?
No, because those teachers will be hired in January.